Hey friends, have you ever heard of a place where women choose their husbands based on breakfast? Pigs are more valuable than gold, and warriors wear mud masks to haunt their enemies? A land where planes deliver groceries to villages with no roads, and tree kangaroos meditate in the treetops like forest monks. This is Papua New Guinea, one of the last wild frontiers left on Earth. In Papua New Guinea, women here shine with deep brown skin kissed by the sun, natural curls tied back with leaves or thread, and a kind of strength that doesn't need to raise its voice. These aren't just homemakers, they're home builders. In many tribes, women are the backbone of farming, animal care, market trade, even spiritual rituals. And in places like Trojan Island, the land is passed down through mothers. Children carry their mother's name, and when it comes to choosing a partner, if a woman visits a man, spends the night, and shares breakfast the next morning, that's it. The community sees them as married. If she's done with him, she takes the children and the cooking pot. Of course, it's not all romantic. While some regions celebrate matrilineal life, others wrestle with deeply patriarchal traditions. In many rural areas, violence against women is a very real crisis. Imagine walking through a dense, misty jungle at dawn, and from the trees, a white figure emerges, stooped low, moving slowly, eyes wide behind a hand-shaped clay mask. You've just met the Asaro Mudmen. Legend says the Mudmen first appeared when a defeated tribe smeared themselves with river clay to escape their enemies. When they rose from the mud, ghost-like and silent, their enemies panicked and fled. Today, their masks are hand-sculpted from clay found only in sacred riverbeds. Each one is a personal masterpiece. The more terrifying, the more respected. Some feature jagged teeth, others resemble demon-like grins. The wearer moves with purpose, slow, eerie, intentional. The Mudmen aren't always open to strangers. These are living people, not performers in a theme park. Show up uninvited in certain regions and you may not be welcomed. That's why you need a local guide, someone who can read the space, speak the language, and earn trust on your behalf. Best place to witness this? The Mount Hagen Cultural Show, or the lesser-known Galka Village. Both feel like stepping into another timeline. In Papua New Guinea, many villages are completely inaccessible by vehicle, especially during the rainy season, when the jungle turns to mud and roads simply disappear. So what do? The answer will surprise you. But before that, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to own a treasure trove of our most attractive information. Villagers board 12-seater planes to reach markets. They haul back sacks of rice and medicine by canoe. And yes, once, during a festival, a live pig was dropped from a plane, gently lowered with ropes like a sacred guest from the sky. It's like Amazon delivery if Jeff Bezos had to dodge coconut trees and land on a soccer field. For adventurers dreaming of jungle life, here's the truth. You'll wait days for supplies. The internet might vanish without warning. Electricity? In many rural spots, it flickers or fails altogether. That cozy bamboo bungalow you saw on YouTube? It might come with stunning views, but no cold beer, no Netflix, and no fridge. And yet, there's a strange peace in that. No rush, no traffic, no doom scrolling. Pigs aren't just livestock here. They're currency, dowry, status symbol, and spiritual offering all rolled into one. A well-raised pig can earn you respect, settle a tribal feud, or win you a bride. At weddings, pigs are gifted. At funerals, pigs are mourned. At coming-of-age ceremonies, a young man's worth is sometimes measured by how many pigs he's raised, and how well. You'll even find pigs with names like Big Mama or Little Trouble living in the same room as the family. They eat together, sleep beside each other, and during special festivals, they're dressed in flower garlands and painted in ceremonial colors, paraded around like VIPs. And oddly enough, this reverence becomes romantic. A man who raises pigs with care shows he's patient, dependable, invested in life. It's not about dominance, it's about devotion. And that matters, especially in a place where family and tradition still outweigh flash and bravado. In a land where warriors still hunt with spears and canoe down crocodile rivers, the official head of state is King Charles III. Yes, the King of England. Papua New Guinea, while independent since 1975, is still part of the Commonwealth. And by law, Charles is their monarch, with a full royal title so long it might take a local school kid 5 minutes to recite. And yet, he's never set foot here. Not once. Still, his coronation wasn't ignored. Tribal groups marked the event by painting their faces in red clay and performing Melanesian dances, not out of political loyalty, but cultural rhythm. Village chiefs still hold actual authority. Their status doesn't come from titles, it comes from how many wild boars, how many oral histories they can retell from memory, how they've guided their people through famine or flood. To an outsider, it's a surreal blend: palace and jungle, Queen's English and tribal drums. Deep in the cloud forests of Papua New Guinea lives a creature so strange, so serene, that it almost doesn't feel real. Meet the tree kangaroo. Unlike the springy kangaroos you've seen bounding across the Australian outback, these cousins are introverts. They don't hop, they climb, silently, thoughtfully, like monks of the rainforest. With soft reddish-golden fur and eyes that gleam like polished onyx, they rest high in the canopy, curled up like meditating forest spirits. When they do move, it's with surprising grace, scaling vertical trunks and leaping 60 feet from branch to ground without a scratch. On the ground, they're clumsy, awkward. Their steps are short and wobbly, like someone jogging in flip-flops. It's a rare vulnerability in an animal that otherwise seems untouchable. And maybe that's what makes them so lovable. Seeing one in the wild is incredibly rare. Even many Papuans haven't. If you do catch a glimpse, some say it's a quiet blessing. Have you ever been lucky enough to encounter these tree kangaroos? If so, comment the number 8 or share your experience with us. In Papua New Guinea's Sepik region, there's a building few outsiders are ever allowed to enter. Just carved totems, burning fire, and stories older than memory. It's called the House Tambor. But it's more than a spiritual center, it's where boys become men. Inside, tribal elders, called housemen, raise them not as sons, but as future warriors. They learn to fish with their hands, to gather with patience, to remember entire lineages by heart, loyalty, endurance, silence. Then comes the rite of passage. Etching the image of the sacred crocodile represents pain endured, strength earned. When it's done, it resembles reptilian armor. And only then are they considered man. Imagine walking just 2 miles and not understanding a single word your neighbor says. That's Papua New Guinea, home to over 850 languages spread across fewer than 9 million people. It's the most linguistically diverse place on Earth. And these aren't dialects, they're full, distinct languages, some spoken by just a few hundred people, many with no written form. Language here isn't just communication, it's identity, lineage, and territory. Now here's something you won't find in guidebooks. When someone dies, their name, and sometimes even words that sound like it, must vanish, erased from speech to honor their spirit. That taboo causes constant reinvention. Words evolve, shift, and break away like river currents. Language doesn't stand still, it flows. But there is a bridge. It's called Tok Pisin, a Creole born from English, German, and local tongues. Simple, playful, poetic. Me go means I'm going home. You oprai means how are you? It's not just a tool, it's a handshake, a smile, a survival skill. Papua New Guinea is often described as one of the last untouched places on Earth. This country makes up only 1% of the planet's land, yet it holds more than 7% of its biodiversity. Every step through the rainforest might mean stepping past a plant or insect science hasn't even named yet. Jagged volcanoes loom over misty tribal valleys. The forest doesn't just make noise, it hums. Birds of paradise, tree-dwelling marsupials, vines older than history. It's raw, alive, otherworldly. But here's the flip side. 85% of the land is inaccessible by road. Most villages can't be reached by car, bus, or even motorcycle. You walk, or you fly, or you don't go at all. And that comes with real consequences. Healthcare? Not guaranteed. Rain cuts off entire communities. Cell signal disappears. Supplies can be delayed for days, sometimes weeks. Kimi Bay is where the ocean slows time. Over 400 species of coral thrive here, some found nowhere else. Divers call it the last great reef that's still alive. And it feels like a dream. Phosphorescent plankton glimmer in the dark, reef fish flash neon blues and golds, and giant clams lie half-buried like sleeping gods. But there's a trade-off. There's no Wi-Fi, no cell signal, no quick espresso. And if you're used to instant everything, it might feel like deprivation. But if you lean in, it's medicine. You eat what's caught. You rise with the tide. You sleep to the sound of waves. Expats who stay say the same thing. You don't escape to Kimi Bay, you surrender to it. Papua New Guinea is one. Every year, over 800 tribes, each with its own language, songs, and stories, gather to showcase their identity at festivals like the Goroka Show, Mount Hagen Cultural Festival, and the Kenu and Kundu Canoe Celebration. Men with skin painted in red and yellow earth, women wearing headdresses woven with birds of paradise feathers and cassowary quills, children dancing to drum beats older than recorded history. Canoes carved entirely by hand glide across rivers lined with cheering clans. Dances passed down for 40 generations erupt across the grass. It's not just stunning, it's sacred. And here's the truth, this isn't for tourists, it's for them, for their ancestors, for their children watching from the crowd, learning the steps and the stories. So if you go, don't point and film like you're capturing an exotic spectacle. Ask, smile, learn a word or two in Tok Pisin. Bring small gifts, betel nuts, woven bags, even printed photos of your visit to give back. Connection, not consumption. You'll be amazed what doors that open. Port Moresby doesn't play by the usual capital city rules. There are no tidy sidewalks or polished skylines here. Kids run barefoot down alleys beside roadside stalls selling grilled bananas and shell jewelry. Chickens peck outside bank buildings. Just 15 miles from five-star hotels, you'll find stilt villages without electricity. It's part frontier, part future. This city is Papua New Guinea's beating heart, messy, wild, strangely magnetic. The central business district flashes glass and suits, while the outskirts pulse with tribal drums and fire-lit gatherings. You might hear a corporate meeting one moment and a traditional sing-sing the next. But let's be honest, Port Moresby isn't a soft landing. Crime is real. Petty theft, armed holdups, gated compounds are the norm for expats. This isn't a city for naive wanderers or casual backpackers. It demands awareness, local guidance, and cultural respect. Yet beneath the caution signs, there's a city trying to balance past and present. People are warm, curious, proud of their heritage, and still adapting to global tides. High in the misty mountains of Papua New Guinea, at over 4,600 feet above sea level, grow some of the finest Arabica beans on Earth. Sweet, floral, balanced. You'll find them in boutique cafes in Tokyo, Brooklyn, Melbourne. But here's the twist. The people who grow this coffee, many have never tasted it. In rural PNG, coffee isn't a daily comfort, it's a cash crop. Locals grow, pick, wash, and bag the beans, then sell them to exporters. With the earnings, they buy rice, or school supplies, or roofing tin. Some villages even host coffee festivals without serving coffee. Instead, there's music, dancing, cultural pride. It's about work, the land, the tradition, not sipping the final cup. There's a bitter irony in that. You might pay $6 for a pour-over that took days to harvest, sun-dry, and sort by hand, and the farmer who made it possible, he may not even own a kettle. Coffee here isn't romanticized. It's a livelihood, resilience in a cup, a bridge between jungle soil and global palates. Can you live here? In the capital, Port Moresby, a one-bedroom apartment rents for around $200 a month. In the suburbs, closer to $150. Utilities, water, gas, electricity will run you about $40. Local food? Grilled fish, rice, or market fruit for under $3 a meal. A one-way bus ticket? 40 cents. Tourist visas are valid for 60 days, with e-visa options online. You'll need a passport valid for at least 6 more months, and depending on your plans, extensions or long-term permits require paperwork and patience. But here's the fine print. The internet is shaky, especially outside major towns. Healthcare is underfunded. Basic care is available, but don't expect high-tech hospitals. And import taxes? Want peanut butter or a new phone charger? Prepare to pay triple. Now, let's talk about romance. It exists here. Quiet, subtle, communal. Courtship often involves families. A smile at the market may be returned, but bold flirting? Risky. Respect and listening go further than charm. In Papua New Guinea, the signature dish is called mumu, a full meal slow-cooked underground, wrapped in banana leaves and steamed over red-hot stones. Inside, tender pork, sweet potato, green bananas, wild greens, taro, and a splash of creamy coconut milk. Hours pass, and what rises is pure comfort, smoky, soft, soulful. Daily meals are humbler, but no less rooted. Sweet potato, known locally as cow, people eat it 2, even 3 times a day. Then there's kakakota, fresh raw fish marinated in lemon juice, spiced with herbs, and softened by coconut cream. It's light, bright, cooling. The kind of dish you remember long after the heat of the day has faded. We've uncovered 15 fascinating facts about Papua New Guinea. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to support us by hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel so you won't miss out on our upcoming exciting videos. Your support helps us keep creating better content. Be sure to check out the next video that's showing up on the screen. I'm sure you're going to love it. And don't forget to leave a... We're so glad you're here today. Please leave a comment, like the video to support us, and subscribe for more videos. See you soon!